Hello everyone and welcome to phase 2, that is programming with TensorFlow. Here in chapter number 13 we are going to have a look at matrix multiplication using TensorFlow. Here I have an image, source is here. Now what is happening is matrix multiplication. What we are trying to do here is multiply this set with this set. Now there are certain set of rules for a successful matrix multiplication. That is, the number of columns of the first matrix should be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. Only then we'll get an output. And the shape of the output will be the number of rows of the first matrix and the number of columns of the second matrix, that is 2 by 2. Here what we are doing is we will multiply the first row of the first matrix with the first column of the second matrix and output the value at position 1, 1. After that we will take the first row of the first matrix and multiply it by the second column of the second matrix and place the value over here. The next step would be to take the second row of the first matrix and multiply it by the first column of the second matrix. Output goes here. The last step would be to multiply the second row of the first matrix with the second column of the second matrix. So that is the output shape that we are going to get. Apart from that, these are the lines of code that we'll be working on. Certain set of reading resources of all the chapters that we have worked on so far. Alright, so let's get started with the programming part. Alright, so here we are. This is chapter number 13, matrix multiplication, and we are going to implement that on top of Jupyter Notebook. The first line of code, as usual, import TensorFlow as df. After that, an instance called x, which has got two cells, which is of the shape 2 by 3. That means it has got 2 rows and 3 columns. After that, we have an instance called y, which has a shape of 3 by 2. That means it has got 3 rows and 2 columns, which were the prerequisite for a matrix multiplication. Let me run these 2 lines of code. That since we are using variable type, we'll have to do init underscore op equals tf.global variables initializer. Let us start the session as ses. We need to use this line of code ses.run because we are using variables, and let us see the value of x. It is a variable number 0. It has a shape of 2 rows and 3 columns and type is integer 32. After that, for y, it is variable number 1. The shape is 3 by 2. The data type is integer 32 once again. Now we are going to run the session with the value of x. Shows how it looks like. 2 by 3. After that, let's see the shape of y, that is 3 by 2. Now let's go through the rules again. For successful matrix multiplication, the number of columns of first matrix should be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. If this rule clicks, then the output shape will be the number of rows of the first matrix multiplied by the number of columns of the second matrix, and this time this becomes 2 by 2. Let us run this as well. Since this is lazy execution, we won't get the values. We have to do ses.run with z1, but then again it tells this tensor is of the type matrix multiplication. It is the first of a kind so far. The shape is 2 by 2. The data type is integer 32. Let us run the session with z1, and there you go. You get an output matrix of the shape 2 by 2. Now, what will happen if we do a multiplication of y with x? Previously it was x with y. As you can see, let's go back again. Y by x is the number of rows of y multiplied by the number of columns of x. So the output matrix will be of shape 3 by 3. Let's run it. We need to do a sys.run with Z2. There you go. Now you have a matrix multiplication of the shape 3 by 3. I hope this has revised your concept of basic matrix multiplication. Play around with different values. I hope you enjoyed the session today as well. Before I end the chapter, let's close the session. See you again the next time. Have a good day. Bye.